So the Washington Commanders have officially made it to their bye week. I know it seems crazy that we're December 3rd and this is the week of the Washington Commanders bye week. Most teams have their bye weeks early on. And we need this break. However, I will say, more than us needing this break as a team and as players, as the players need the break, we went into this bye week feeling good. Because although it is a one game difference, headed into the bye week, 8-5 versus 7-6 feels drastically different. Now I want to give credit to all the players, but someone that I want to give major credit to is Bobby Wagner. As Bobby Wagner took it upon himself this past week to call out the team and challenge them. Let's talk about it. YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We have the Washington Commanders video. And in today's video, I'm coming on here with the video where we're going to be talking about one of the greatest linebackers in NFL history, first ballot Hall of Famer, Bobby Wagner, being credited one of the biggest reasons why Washington turned that thing around on Sunday. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this to the channel. One road to 8,000 subscribers, so we greatly appreciate it if you haven't reached that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So, I want to first tell you guys, I did go to the game on Sunday. Go watch that vlog. It is up now on the channel. Go check it out. All right. Bobby Wagner. He was one of the only Commander players that were keeping me sane during these 3 weeks, okay? With everybody feeling like the sky was falling, you know, some of the fans starting to question players, starting to question the coaching staff during this 3-game skid, especially after the loss versus Dallas. Bobby Wagner, he came out to the media and basically said, this is a good team. I know we're a good team. We're going to get it turned around, and we're going to win the rest of our games. He said, you guys are the same media that's going to be here in a couple of weeks when we turn this thing around asking us, well, how did we do it? You know, he said it's an NFL season. Things happen. You lose games, but this is a good team, and he knows that this is a good team, and they're going to have it turned around. And when I heard that from Bobby Wagner, I said, you know what, B-Wags? I love you, man. You're the only guy I don't want to say he's not the only guy that gets it, but he's one of the only guys on this team that can talk like that and you can believe him. This is a multi-time Super Bowl champion. You know, obviously, you know, one of the best linebackers in NFL history, first ballot Hall of Famer, right? just broke another record this past Sunday. Like when he speaks, you know it's coming from a place of truth, and you know it's coming from a place that has validity to it because he's that guy. And even at 33, 34 years old, he's still balling, and that's why I want him back badly. And I hope he finishes his career here, whether that's 1 more year, 2 more years. Bobby Wagner is still playing at a high level, man, and he's credited to a big reason as to why this team finally got it back on track. Right? Last Sunday or a couple days ago versus the Titans, man, when I tell you that game was so refreshing to watch, especially live in person, because it felt like the team that we watched in months of September and October, right? And it's not even necessarily that we blew them out, of course, like that is great and all, and that's what we got accustomed to early on, is blowing teams out, but it's more so how we played, especially offensively. Remember the last couple of weeks, the last month of the season, or the last 3 games when we were on that skid, it felt like Cliff Kingsbury wasn't being Cliff Kingsbury. It felt like people he quote unquote got figured out, because in my opinion, now I think about it, yeah, you could say Cliff Kingsbury may have got figured out, but Cliff Kingsbury wasn't being Cliff Kingsbury in that span that he got figured out, because he went right back to being what Cliff Kingsbury was early on in the season, and look how successful it got us. It got us 43 points with ease, and we could have had 50 if Zane Gonzalez does not miss those 2 field goals. We could have had 50. And that is the offense that we were running early on in the season. Quick passes, screens, slants, drags, in routes, you know, read options, just being fast and short. Like, that's what we were doing early on. Getting the ball in the hands of 5, 6, 7, 8 different receivers. Terry McLaurin, Luke McCaffrey, De'Ami Brown, Noah Brown, Zach Ertz, Ben Sinnott. Jeremy McNichols, Brian Robinson. Like, we got the ball in the hands of everybody. Alameda Zakis, if I didn't already mention him. Like, that is what we are. That is what we were doing early on in the season, and we just got away from it. So it felt good to hear a leader of this team, Bobby Wagner, challenging, calling these guys out, putting them on the spot, telling them, hey, we got to get this together. I'm calling you out. I'm calling y'all out. I'm challenging y'all to get this thing together because the games that we're losing is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Shouldn't have lost that Pittsburgh game. The only loss that I would genuinely give us is that Philly game. And even in that game, we was up 13-6, 10-6, one of them, late stage of the second half. So even that game is a tough one for me to add an L to because we shouldn't have lost that game. The Dallas game, they did not want to win that game. But if you let a bad team hang around, at some point they're going to win that game because you clearly don't want it yourself. But deep down inside, they shouldn't have won that game. Washington should be sitting here 10-2. 9-3 at worst. But sometimes when you're not playing your best football, it's better to catch up to you early than late. Talking to one of my good friends, and he was bringing that up to me, how he really wasn't as upset with this 3-game losing streak that we were on because we needed it. Because not a doubt in my mind was Washington missing the playoffs this year. I still felt like we're going to make the playoffs, right? It just went from division leaders, potential 2 seeds, and now wild card. And so there was not a doubt in my mind that we were making the playoffs. But a good point that my homie made, he was just like, I'm kind of glad that we're getting what we deserve now, because we have not been playing the best football over the last month, and we're paying for it. And I'm glad that that's happening now, opposed to January, late December, and we somehow miss the playoffs or we lose in the wild card round because of what we were BSing around getting by with early on. Kind of like, and I don't want to make this comparison because I know who am I to make this comparison because we're comparing a team like Washington to Kansas City, but kind of like how Kansas City right now is surviving off of BS, or if you want to look at it in the positive, like they're finding ways to win. I don't think that's going to survive in January, late December, and into the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen. That's not going to work for them. That's going to catch up to them at some point. So for Washington, and not saying that this is going to always be the case or be positive, because we very well still could make the playoffs and lose first round, but I would rather just lose with us playing our best and being on our A game and that team was just better than us than lose in the playoffs how we've been losing the last couple of weeks before this win versus the Titans. You feel what I'm trying to say? Like, how heartbroken would you be if we lost in a wild card round how we lost to Pittsburgh, how we lost to Philly, how we lost to Dallas? You'll be heartbroken because, one, that Dallas game, you were better than that team. You just didn't play like it. That Philly game, you had opportunities. Even though you didn't play your best, you had opportunities to win. And then that Pittsburgh game, we had those playoff games before. Did we not start off 14-0 versus the Seahawks? Did we not start off fast versus the Packers? And we blew it. So you would have been heartbroken. Now that we've cleaned that up and we're past that phase of the season where we're seeming like we're back to our old self, we can play ball again. We can compete with anybody again. I no longer, all I know it's Tennessee won. Why is your confidence back out to Tennessee? Because we won. I just needed to see us win. I don't care who it is or how much it's by. Just win. To restore that confidence. You understand that, right? Do you understand that? You win a game, your confidence is restored. Doesn't matter who it is or how much you win by. You hit a parlay. You hit a bet, right? You're going to continue to keep betting because your confidence is restored that you figured something out. So, that being said, of course, it's Tennessee. And of course, we should have won. But it's the magnitude that we won. Magnitude that we won. 43-19 with 6 points to spare. Should have been 50, if you ask me. Bobby Wagner, for me, gets a lot of the credit for this victory and turning this team around. Obviously, Dan Quinn too, and the rest of the team. I'm not taking credit for nobody, but you got to shine the light on a Hall of Famer. You got to shine the light on a leader of this locker room, and to shine the light on a veteran that's been there before. Okay, so shout out to B Wags, and shout out to this team. Enjoy the bye week, get away, have some fun, and be ready for New Orleans. And hopefully we get Marshawn Lattimore back during that time. And I got a video on him coming out. I ain't gonna lie to y'all boys, man. If Marshawn Lattimore don't play versus the Saints, man, we gotta start having a discussion. How the NFL allowed this trade to go through if they knew this player was hurt? Because I thought you couldn't trade for injured players. But I guess I was wrong. But that will cross that bridge if that bridge comes to part. With that being said, as always, me and boy Juan Gotti, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's me and boy Juan Gotti. Don't forget to use my promo code Juan Gotti on SeatGeek to get $20 off your first purchase. We only got like 2 or 3 home games left, so you want to get out there. Yeah, man. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Let's watch the commands on the road to 8,000. See y'all later. Peace.